The old abandoned hospital stood silhouetted against the dying light of the setting sun, a jagged scar on the landscape. I was about 15 minutes outside of town, out on what used to be called Dead Man's Road, now renamed Memory Lane. As if that made any sense. I'd heard stories of this place from people I'd met while traveling the country.
Ho, ho, ho!
And since I'd always been drawn to anything macabre, I decided I had to visit for myself. I got there around 11:30 p.m. It was a full moon, so I figured I'd be fine. I parked my car down the road and walked toward the imposing structure. There was a wrought iron fence surrounding the property, but one of the gates was open. I hesitated, then stepped through.
Ho, ho, ho!
The main entrance was blocked off with concrete, so I went around to the side and found an unlocked door. I pushed it open and stepped inside. The smell hit me first, stale and dusty, like old bones. Then I heard it, a whisper. I froze. Was I imagining things? I listened intently. Another whisper, then a third. They were coming from everywhere and nowhere.
Ho, ho, ho!
I pulled out my camera, turned on the flash, and started walking down a deserted hallway. As I moved through the rooms, I could feel their eyes on me, cold and heavy. But when I turned around, there was nothing there. Or was there? I stopped, my heart pounding. In the photo I just took, I could have sworn I saw a shadow in the corner of the room.
Ho, ho, ho!
I shook my head, trying to clear it. Maybe it was just a trick of the light. I continued taking pictures, forcing myself to stay calm. But as I made my way through the hospital, I began to see strange things out of the corner of my eye, just shapes moving at the edge of my vision. When I turned to look, there was nothing there.
Ho, ho, ho!
I tried to convince myself that what I was seeing was just my imagination. But something told me that wasn't true. Then I heard a voice right behind me. Leave. I spun around, my heart leaping into my throat, but there was no one there. Still, I could have sworn I heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, getting closer. I ran, blindly making my way through the labyrinth of hallways.
Ho, ho, ho!
Behind me, I could hear the whispers getting louder. Leave, leave, leave. I finally found the front door, stumbled outside, and didn't stop running until I got to my car. I never looked back. Even now, years later, I can still hear the whispers. When I close my eyes, the sound of unseen footsteps. When I got home, I developed the photos I'd taken that night. One in particular stood out.
Ho, ho, ho!
It was the photo I took of the room where I heard the voice. I looked at it under the harsh light of my makeshift darkroom, trying to make out the details. Then I saw it, a dark shape standing in the corner of the room. It wasn't a trick of the light or my imagination. There was something in that room with me. But that wasn't all.
Ho, ho, ho!
In the photo, it seemed to be reaching out to me, its long, gnarled fingers beckoning. I stared at the photo, my heart pounding. Then I noticed something else. The figure was missing its face. Where there should have been features, there was only blackness. And in that darkness, I could have sworn I saw two pinpricks of light, like eyes staring back at me. I dropped the photo, my mind reeling.
Ho, ho, ho!
Could this be the same place that the locals had told me about? The one where people had gone missing, never to be seen again? I didn't know then, but I was about to find out. I went back to the hospital with a friend. When we entered that same room, we saw the same dark shape standing in the corner. And in the photo we took, the creature was even clearer, its misshapen face leering at us.
Ho, ho, ho!
It was missing its eyes, which were replaced by those two pinprick lights. We ran from the hospital, terrified, but not fast enough. The thing moved with unnatural speed, gliding effortlessly through the corridors. We could hear its raspy breath behind us, its heavy footsteps pounding the floor. In the end, we didn't outrun it. It caught up with us and dragged us into the darkness.
Ho, ho, ho!
And now we're trapped there forever, joining the others who went before us. And every night we can be heard, our whispers echoing through the halls, warning those who dare to enter, warning you.
Ho, ho, ho!